Hello there, I am Jaime Elizondo from Real World Ranching, and today I want to talk about leasing land for livestock. I am from Real World Ranching, where our goal is to help you achieve maximum profitability while improving the land the fastest. As we all know, land prices have increased much over the past 50 years, so much that in most cases it is very hard to pencil out a livestock operation with a land credit to buy the land and livestock. This is disheartening to many aspiring livestock producers who want to have a life in the country, regenerating the land and producing the healthiest animal products possible at the same time. But we now have the knowledge to do this at a very low cost. So we need to have control over a piece of land as the total grazing program gives results in the short and the long term at a low cost. So what do we do if we do not have the money to buy a piece of land? Not everybody inherits lands, and most of us did not have that luxury. But we can be creative, and the first thing we need to learn is how to do our numbers correctly before embarking on a new venture. If it does not work on paper, it will not work on the ground. So if you know someone who might benefit from listening to this podcast, please share the link with that person, as this is a message of hope where everybody wins. I love win-win projects, especially if they involve regenerating a precious resource, which in this case is our land and our environment. As I wrote previously, we need to have control over a piece of land to be able to apply all the principles explained in the Total Grazing Program course. We know that adapted genetics with correct selection guidelines are also necessary to improve the soil where our livestock graze. So my first advice is to dedicate your hard-earned capital, whatever it is, to buying the cheapest and most hardy female livestock available for your environment. Of course, you will need grassland to graze your cattle, and that is what this podcast is about. Leasing land from owners that are not interested in livestock raising can be a win-win situation if you get the right landlord and you are the right livestock person that wants to learn and work and do whatever is necessary to have success. Having success in the livestock business is not only about making money. It includes also improving your genetics to the point that other livestock producers come to you to buy their male and female replacements due to their unique genetics. Okay, so let's start with the basics to find and lease land for pasture. Number one, it needs to be close to your home or base farm. Two, the lease contract needs to be long-term. By long-term, I mean at least 10 years long. Three, your landlord must agree to your methods, and your landlord will be rewarded by his land improving in value from much higher productivity, more and diverse wildlife, higher humus in the soil, and many others. Four, the lease needs to be written correctly and signed by both you and the landowner. Five, you need to include a clause that says that all the improvements that can be taken off the land at the end of the lease contract are yours, so you can take your fences, corral, and water troughs if you have them installed. Six, once you're successful and have the results to show other landowners, it should be easier to find more land. Just remember that this new land needs to be close to your home, no more than 30 minutes away, unless it is very cheap lease and you can make a profit while improving the landlord's property. Remember that the landlord will get to pay less taxes because you have livestock in their land. And most landowners will renew your lease once they see you are hardworking and having success at both improving their land and making money for your family. 7, apply the fundamentals of the total grazing program to greatly increase productivity and soil humus content. This will allow you to have economic success and please the landowner with land improving much faster than with any other grazing program. 8. This means that you want to harvest as high a percentage of pre-grazing forage to give the land a much longer rest period. I'm going to repeat. This is important you understand well. This means that you want to harvest as high a percentage of pre-grazing forage as possible to give the land a much longer rest period. Because the more you harvest, the slower you move your livestock around and the longer the rest period is before you return to regraze. This builds strong and fat roots. You need to tell the landowner about this program before you sign, so no one is caught unaware. 9. If the pasture lease is too far away from you, you can still make it work by moving your livestock less frequently, even once every 2 weeks. But the nutritional adaptation in your genetics needs to be superb. 10. If the land needs a perimeter fence, ponds, and other costly investments, you should have the landowner pay for most of it, as those improvements will be permanent and you cannot take them with you after the lease ends. I have students leasing pastures with success, and some of these pastures are very close to their home, while others are up to an hour away, and they only go to move their cattle once or twice a week. Usually, you need to stockpile closer to your home so that in the winter, work is easier from not traveling too far away to move your livestock. It makes it easier to solve problems before they turn into wrecks. Now, let's talk about what about the capital to buy all that livestock you need to improve your landlord's pastures. We can be creative and start with other people's livestock, other people's money, and we can also buy some with our own saved money. Other people's livestock is where they send you their livestock and agree to pay on a monthly basis a set amount. This helps with cash flow and leaves a tidy profit if you structure it correctly. Make sure that the genetics and class of animal they send you fits your environment and nutrition quality of the grass naturally produced in that environment. You do not want to get young animals that require a lot of supplements that may rob you your profits, unless your naturally produced forage is of a very high quality. With pregnant cows, you want to make sure they are the easy keeping type and that you know how to take care of them. Now let's talk about other people's money. That happens when you find investors willing to buy the cattle or livestock and share the cost and profits with you. This can be a win-win situation if you have the experience to buy and raise livestock that return a profit, which after sharing with the investor a certain percentage of it, still leaves you with a comfortable profit for your work. Now, remember that to make this work, you need scale. And most times, you will start with less acreage than needed to break even. Is this a deal breaker? No. You can still make it work by getting another job, many times a job from home, which will allow you to take care of your livestock in the afternoon, after work, and still have time to enjoy with your family, especially on weekends. You might say, it is precisely on weekends when things go wrong, and that is only true if it hasn't been planned correctly, as in Module 6 of the Total Grazing Program, infrastructure, or if you're carrying pampered genetics that require a full-time attention. This is another reason to learn about adapted genetic selection guidelines course. Okay, once you have your livestock base, maybe after years of caring for other people's livestock or sharing your profits with other people who acted as investors, you can start offering breeding animals to like-minded people who also want to enjoy life while making money, improving their land, and they require the genetics that you have to achieve them. You can also get land leases that are further away when you have adapted genetics that are well selected so that they do not need to be visited so often. And this allows you to scale up, and scale is where the money is. Conclusion and review. 1. If you really want to dedicate your life to livestock, living in the country and having economic success while improving the land, you can do it. There are no excuses. Remember this: when somebody wants to do something, he or she will find a way. When somebody does not want to do something, he or she will find an excuse. 2. Approach landowners with a good story to tell and have them visit some land that you already lease to see for themselves what you can accomplish on their land. This is why it will be best that you have at least a few acres where your home is to show people your type of management. 3. Always keep your word in all agreements, which will build up your reputation. 4. Be friendly and communicate correctly what you want to achieve. Practice before delivering your proposal to the landowner and listen intently to what he asks and answer truthfully. 5. Learn about the Total Grazing program and the Adapted Genetics Selection Guidelines courses, which are the proven way to achieve success in improving the land and increasing productivity a big time at a very low cost. Well, I hope you like this podcast and you can put this into practice. Thank you, and until next time, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube, or join us for the weekly email at www.rwranching.com/join. Have a great day.